So our next topic is the embedded systems logic machine. That's our KNX gateway, and you can use it for a lot more things. So on the left-hand side, you see all our units which got a Modbus interface, and then you go from Modbus to the logic machine. Then either it's acting as a KNX gateway, and you can integrate our units into the whole automation system, or you connect it to your network router. Then you can control your Steam bars over the local network, or you connect the logic machine to the internet, and you can control your Steam bars or sauna from everywhere over a cloud, or if you connect the logic machine cloud together with the Amazon Alexa cloud, you can do the voice control. So first we're going to do how you set things up, configure the gateway, and then we do step by step the local network, the cloud solution, and KNX at the end. But first, let's set the machine up. The manual we need is the amendment manual for Spa Control interfaces. So there's everything written, like from Modbus registers to how to connect it to Amazon Alexa. We do it now here on the webinar. So first thing is configure the gateway. So you take your laptop and with an RJ45 Ethernet port, do a direct connection to the logic machine on top here. The Modbus units are connected down here. There's the RS485 connecting port. That would be how it's on Omega or Delta Spa. So first physically connected, then standard login and password on a logic machine is here. Admin for login name and password. IP address is 192.168.0.10. Network mask 255.255.255.0. So you have to set up your Ethernet port on a computer according to that. How to do that, I showed you before in the BACnet IP on the Omega Pro. So if that's all done, you can open your web browser, type in the IP address, and what you will see is the web server of the logic machine. Then you want to configure the logic machine so it suits your network where it's going to be integrated to. So let's go back again. You go on system config, then you see this view, network interfaces, and here you see the Ethernet port of the logic machine with its actual IP address. So you double click on that one, and then this window opens. So then you go on your network settings you usually have on your computer or on your router, and you copy these settings over here. Once that's done, you go to apply changes, then the logic machine will reboot, and then you can connect it to the router of your network, and you will find it then in your network. So that was how to set up the logic machine so it suits your network. Once that is done, and you're connected then with your computer to the network with wireless LAN or whatever, and you type in the machine, the IP you've set before to the logic machine in your browser, and then you find it here as well. So no, there's no more direct connection between computer to the logic machine. Now you did the connection from computer to the router and from the router to the logic machine. So it's integrated in your network. So we set up the network settings. Next step would be how to find the steam generator with the logic machine. So you would go on these settings here, logic machine, Modbus, Rtu Settings. There you got the Rtu settings of the Logicmachine. You have basically two Modbus port, or three actual Modbus ports. And then you have the settings of the Omega or Delta Spa. And baud rate and parity needs to be the same. So then they need to be copied. So, there we go. Logicmachine. Login name and password is still the same. That's why it's complaining. So that one should be changed. You see already the group addresses, which are pre-configured on a Logicmachine. Later on, you have to do the mapping. Omega basement. So let's delete that. Yep. So Rtu settings. That is what it should be. Now we go on the web server of the Omega, which is connected to the network as well. And check the Modbus settings over here and of the gateway, not of the processor. Slave address is 1, baud rate 19,200, parity even, data format big endian. Whatever you can copy to here. So there we got the baud rate, parity, save. Then we do Rtu Scan. Oh yeah. There I found already the Omega, add device, Omega basement, profile. Now you have to select the profile spa. So there's already the mapping done from the Modbus addresses to the KNX objects. Pull interval to 5. Save. Now you see the Omega with its name, profile which is connected, on which port of the Logicmachine is connected, the Modbus address of the unit. Next step would be mapping. Here you see the Modbus registers. Now you need to map them to the KNX objects. So double click, Omega basement system status. 10.0.1 Spa Control System status would be the linking object. So we have to map each Modbus register to the KNX object. Fold. Now you can do that for each object you have, or you want basically. If there's no time needed, you just skip that one. Temperature is always good to know. Temp 1. The layup you have is basically for, let's say you got 2 Spa controls connected to each other. So one is Modbus address 1, the other one is 2. T1. Get straight away the current readings. So there you go. You can map everything type by type. Then we go to objects, and here you see the green ones are just the actual readings. So what you could do get everything a bit pre-sorted is to go to Utilities, restore backup. Some I did do before. So we choose a backup file, so we can send them to you, or they will be in the download area later on our homepage. So you got a preset setup for the Logicmachine. You don't have to do everything yourself. So there's already some visualization included, and you can exchange the pictures to make it a bit easier and faster. Yeah, that's just a text label, and here would actually read if there's an error or not on system status. Or you can actually use spa fold, spa warning, and read the actual fold. Let's do that. Apply error code 0. We go back to the objects. Yeah. Spa fold. And now you can do for every error the correct failure message. So let's do error 22. Check value 22. No water. Boom. And now we configure it as an internal omega, and the omega has no water at the moment. Engineering. Generator kind. Internal omega. Save. Counter restart of device test hardware. I just restart the generator over the display. So restart the omega. So it would do a level test. And then after a while, we could read out the warning. Probably would have been faster if I just stand up the chair, switch it on and off. Restart, restart. Boom. Okay. So now the omega is restarted. It will do a level test now. And within like 2 minutes, we would read here error 22. So next thing, let's go back to the start page. We will check that later on. Now you can do the visualization with pictures like that, or with a little program of the Modbus machine mosaic, which you can use also on your mobile phone, and it looks a bit similar to the display. So there you go. There you can Do it as you like. Jetzt mache ich draufklick, ist das Display weg. Tack, tack. Also, I made an icon if the door is open or closed, so you see straight away if you got a door contact, which I would always recommend when you do remote stuff like that. See if the door is open or closed. I mean, if it's open, the unit wouldn't start, but better to check. That's the Mosaic Creator. And now you could play around with it. Here you could change the text as you want. And here you see the same. It's very similar to the visualization. Choose the object and the status. Here for temperature. Object is spa set point. So if you click in plus or minus, you're changing the set point, but the actual value you see at the moment is the temperature. And you do that the same with humidity all the time. Start is object here, spa start. So that's probably if the generator is off, you see start at the bottom. If it's running, it says stop on the bottom. You can change the colors, background color, text color. So that's what you get when you load up the backup of the Logicmachine, and then you can individualize it as you want with your own logo or whatever. So now the next thing would be how to get that visualization with the Mosaic on your phone. So now you go basically to the App Store of the Logicmachine. You need the cloud configuration. So do that one. It will load it. Yeah, you can add a clock as well. It's funny. There's like loads of different additional stuff. So Logicmachine is way more than just a KNX gateway. You can do millions of things with it. And we also install also the Alexa app for later on. You see what's all installed, apart from standard. Cloud config. Cloud account, sign in. So here you take your email address. So coming back to the fault code, as we said before, we had to wait a little bit until the Omega realizes that it can't do a level test as there's no water. So here we see on object 1006 bar fault, max filling, no water. Otherwise, if you wouldn't have done that, custom values, object value 22, and the display or the text message that should come would be here. It would just show the 22. So where's the camera? Nope, just show the display again. Or show, there you go. Red triangle on the display of the Amiga that we are playing around on. Click on it, hour 22, click once again, max filling time. And there you see the proper description. What could be the reasons for troubleshooting? So going back on the visualization where we had that before, now you see here as well, max filling, no water. There's main object of that text field, bar fold, use main object, and display mode is just the value. So whatever would be written here will be written also in a visualization. So that was it about the error as said before.